Let's discuss the ghostly apparition, one may even call it bloodlust, and how it correlates to the red and blue Oni. Before we do though, I'd like to give a quick shout out and thanks to the Darling in the Franxx subreddit and Discord communities for theorizing with me. I'd highly recommend checking both communities out if you haven't already, and with that said, let's get into it. At the end of episode 12, we're left in a high-tension scenario, having just seen the projection of Zero Two choking Hiro. Meanwhile, Hiro is finally getting back some of his memories, and we see a brief glimpse of the past that occurred between the two. This is, of course, reminiscent to episode 1, where we see Zero Two in her full red Oni form.
なぜだろう。私はそんな命のあり方を美しいと思ってしまったのだ。美しいと感じてしまったのだ。
Now, for those who don't know, an Oni is a Japanese character which refers in pop culture specifically to a certain trope aptly named the red and blue Onis. Red Oni may be associated with passion, wildness, and defiance, while the blue Oni may be associated with serenity, control, and observing authority. Even with these basic descriptions, you can start to see the correlations between these Oni and Zero Two and Hiro. Now, getting back to the choking scene, the scene starts off with Zero Two consumed by her rage, or as I called it earlier, her bloodlust. Bloodlust is a term commonly used in anime, manga, and even comics. Oftentimes, especially in anime, bloodlust can be physically felt or even seen by those observing. This explains quite well the apparition we saw rise from Zero Two, but it doesn't explain the relationship that Hiro and Zero Two have, not on the level that the blue and red Oni tropes do. So while yes, bloodlust may describe the apparition, we can take it a bit further. Zero Two was willing to disobey Ichigo's plans in order to rack up as many kills alone as she could. She wants to waste no time. She's stuck on the idea that killing Klaxosaur will make her human. Everything about Hiro and Zero Two are opposites in this scene. Zero Two disobeys orders from Ichigo as a red Oni would. Hiro wants to obey Ichigo's orders, obey authority as a blue Oni would. Now, the bloodlust or red Oni that we saw appear and choke Hiro is likely actually not a physical entity. After all, Zero Two is piloting Strelizia. She couldn't just flip around and rise up like so. Whether the red Oni was a physical manifestation of Zero Two's anger and bloodlust or a mental image that Hiro could see and feel is honestly irrelevant. It's how it affects the two characters that matters. And as we can clearly see, Hiro being linked to Zero Two begins to recall memories, not just his own, but also Zero Two's. Before we get into more details regarding those memories, let's look away for a brief moment and discuss what's known as the id in Sigmund Freud's beliefs on the human psyche. To put it simply, the id can be described in one word: instincts. There are two other parts of this belief though, the ego and superego. Again, putting it very simply, ego is reality and superego is morality. But let's focus on the id. The id engages in impulsive, instinctual commands. During the choking scene, we see Zero Two consumed entirely by her instincts, her bloodlust to become human again, and to once again be with her darling from back then. She is consumed by this want and puts it above all other goals, even above her own team's safety. Now, since the pilots of the Franxx are connected with each other's minds and emotions, we see that when Zero Two enters Stampede mode and is consumed entirely by her id, that Hiro in return gets attacked on a psychological level by the pure red Oni apparition. The final correlation to mention is how Freud associated the id with hidden memories. See what I'm getting at? As Zero Two's id tries to consume Hiro by her own instinctual desires, Hiro is flooded with memories. Zero Two's memories, which in turn unlocks his own regressed memories as well, and he finally remembers her, the girl from back then. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. This is actually the first Darling in the Franxx theory video that I've made, and it's only the beginning. I have plenty more coming on the way, so stay tuned for those if you enjoyed this one.